Alright, hey guys, this is Sarah's Night.
And it's Lantis.
So, we just now did a test recording this time to be, like, extra sure that something doesn't just, somehow go wrong after an hour of inactivity.
In my defense, I have been recording for another thing once a week for the past, 2 years.
I know, like I said, I know it was just because I was there. I put a curse on it.
So we did an audio test before recording just to provide the insurance necessary.
Alright, now, I believe we were somehow given from somebody the ability to break through... I know there's an auto map button. Yeah, there we go. To break through, the stone barrier reef, so... Leaving Yafutoma, we're gonna just kind of circumnavigate the world.
Yeah.
That actually becomes a discovery, even though the Empire clearly just proved that they just now did it.
By the way,
because they didn't come here through the Dark Rift we did.
I've got to admit, I like how that you put the white map on Vice, and that has been there ever since.
And it's gonna stay there.
Have you ever used the white map before this playthrough?
I'm pretty sure I did. I mean, just somehow I did remember that it was that useful.
Yeah. I never used it in the, 2 playthroughs I did.
Move! Get me straight!
I thought you'd only play through once before.
No, twice. I'm pretty sure it was twice. Once back in the day, and then once actually with this ISO.
Move! Get me straight!
Because Boomerang looks stupid. I'm just gonna say that again.
Well, you know what? I'm going to concur. That Boomerang does in fact look stupid. It's half of
it looks like a giant teardrop.
I think it's supposed to be like half of a yin yang symbol.
Yeah.
Like a not properly shaped one.
Alright, we should just be able to crash right through here. Or not.
Mistakes were made.
Okay, any one of these, mini asteroids, if they just happen to hit my ship, that could be critical damage.
Okay,
easy.
so now what do we do? Do we just go north?
Okay, yeah, I could swear leaving... Wait, did I actually choose the right file? Didn't we save on 2 different files and maybe I loaded up the wrong one that was earlier?
I mean, do you want to... Here, let's...
Yeah, we're gonna have to find out. Sorry guys, it's a month and a half since the last recording. So I don't remember crap.
Let's make sure the recording picks up. Yeah, okay, cool. Good.
But I could swear the last thing what happened was we just beat Vigoro and left. We're leaving Yafutoma with the Blue Moonstone, and some Yafutonian somewhere was like, "Hey, I made an upgrade to your ship. You can now go past the
continue. Slot A.
Okay, nope. I definitely got the
Yafutuma airspace. No.
Let's go into town and talk to the king again. So anyway, what's been going on in your life?
Man,
since the last time I was here?
I've just been playing a bunch of games, bro. During the time I've played quite a few things. One of which was the Collection of Mana series on the Switch, which is a collection of Final Fantasy Adventure, Secret of Mana, and Seiken Densetsu 3. And every time I have the opportunity to talk about this, I will, because this is important. Seiken Densetsu 3 has never had an NTSC release. It was never been released overseas. The only way we've ever been able to play it is through emulation and a fan translation port, right?
Right.
That's the only way we've ever been able to do it. We actually got an NTSC release with this copy on the Collection of Mana series. That alone makes it worth the $60 price tag. But even if you didn't consider it was a $60 price tag, if you were to buy a loose copy of Final Fantasy Adventure and Secret of Mana, that too would run you about $60 anyways. So honestly, like, it is just a fantastic, like, deal to begin with, right? So I played through that, and after I finished that, I picked up the Link's Awakening remake on Switch, and I was delightfully impressed with that. And not to go super into it, I will say the quality of life changes more than make it worth it. Like, despite the graphics look really good, despite that the gameplay still matches up and everything looks great.
Do the graphics still look like similar to
no,
that
no,
on
no.
Game Boy?
It's a new art style entirely, and I really like it.
Okay.
It's a like deliberately cute. Like everything's supposed to look like it's like almost like it's a toy or chibi and all that stuff. But I really like it. But here's what's really cool. They made it so that you always have equipped your sword and your shield. That is bound to buttons that you cannot take off. You are given 2 more slots for items that you can swap out. So you no longer have to sacrifice giving up your sword to put on, Rock's Feather or whatever, right? So that's already really cool.
That is nice.
You know what they also did? They made it so the power bracelet is a passive. It doesn't have to be equipped. Whenever you pick up the power bracelet, you just are able to pick up heavy things from then on out. You don't need to equip it. So, and along with some other changes that they made, the game is just so much like... I don't know when the last time you played Link's Awakening on Game Boy was.
LP'd it.
But,
just the game period. I didn't
Yeah.
actually play it on an actual physical Game Boy. But...
Yeah, no, I don't... But I'm just saying... I don't know if you understand or realize how often you have to pause the game to change out items.
I did.
It is
I just...
so much.
I didn't complain about it because... I guess it just seemed so natural back then, like when it first came out in like when I was in the 6th grade or so.
Yeah.
And I played, it just seemed like an inconvenience you would expect to have.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even seem like an inconvenience, just like business as usual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. But you will notice in the remake the time it saves, or how much time you can go without having to pull up your menu to swap out things that you need to use, and that is the best thing about the remake, I believe. They also included the Game Boy Color DX dungeons.
Which I never played. So.
Yeah, the color dungeon. Which the rewards for completing that dungeon is either the blue tunic, which cuts the damage you take by half, or the red tunic, which doubles your attack. And you can swap them. You have to go to the graveyard to swap them out, but you can swap them out freely. Another interesting thing they added is this is kind of, I wouldn't say it's new to the series, but it's a more modern option. They introduced hero mode, which makes the game harder. Which Link's Awakening, kind of an easy game, right? So
yeah.
I
would say it was. I remember when I LP'd it a few years ago, I was having trouble with some parts, but that was just like trying to figure out what I need to do next.
Yeah, but once you...
It wasn't hard in terms of like, actual combat. So
hero mode makes it so that
that sounds good. I'm down with that.
Yeah. So hero makes it so that it's different from Zelda game to Zelda game, but I didn't play hero mode, and I wish I did. But they make it so that hearts don't drop. So any heart you lose, you're not getting it back until you die. So hearts don't, like, you can't run through some bushes, or enemies won't drop little hearts to pick up. Like, I mean, you'll get heart pieces and you'll get full hearts from bosses like usual. But
okay, I was about to say.
But just like the resource, a heart, doesn't pop out of a bush anymore. So you can't like, oh, I took a little damage, let me run around here and pop back up.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. So Also, they have a dungeon creator. You can like make your own dungeons and then run through them. That, which I think sounds really cool, but kind of sucks in execution because you can only assemble dungeons out of rooms that exist in the actual game. Like you can mix and match rooms, which I mean, it's still cool, but not
a big deal.
Yeah.
That was easy.
And after that, I played Astral Chain, which I had no idea this game was even being made at the time. Astral Chain.
Somebody I follow on YouTube was talking about that recently. I can't remember if it was Sphere Hunter or somebody else.
So here's the thing, right? Astral Chain, to me, is important because it was made by Platinum, which, as you know, the director, Hideki Kamiya, is responsible for things like Devil May Cry, or Bayonetta, or a bunch of other stuff that he's done with, like, franchises. Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Legend of Korra. He's, like, Platinum has made a bunch of games, and stuff that are like, age traditional, like, The Amazing 101, stuff like that. Basically, Hideki Kamiya can do no wrong, right? So once I found out that he made a new, like, hack and slash title, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna have to play that. And I will say, probably out of all the Hideki Kamiya games, that's probably the weakest entry in the series. It's not bad, but I mean, I feel like the combat was way toned down compared to what you're usually able to do. Like, you don't have combos. You have, like, one string, a maximum of 3 weapons, and you get, like, a minion that you cannot control, really, that you can summon. And there's, like, 5 of them that you can swap between. Like, there are options. You can do stuff, but the combat's not as deep as Hideki Kamiya usually does. But still, had fun with it.
Now, what else has he made?
He was involved with Devil May Cry, and with Devil May Cry 1, and I believe 2, before he left Capcom and joined Platinum. The later Devil May Cry, Hideki Kamiya wasn't the director of, but then he went on to do stuff like Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2, right? And another big one that was Hideki Kamiya was Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. That is a fantastic game. I love that game. He also did a beat-em-up version for the Transformers. He did one for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and The Legend of Korra, which is an Avatar series, a second series of Avatar. And while the last 3 I mentioned aren't really well received, the combat is still there, and that's what you play those games for. Good job on the S rank fish.
Actually, is that what it's saying?
Yeah, S! Let's see, I also believe I played Borderlands 3 with the guys between your last visit and now. And, I mean, there's not really much to say about that other than it's Borderlands, and it was fucking awesome. The classes are so creative this time around. All of them. Like, I played with a full group of people, and we each grabbed different characters. Like, you can play the same character if you want to, but we were like particular about making sure that we had one of each. So because as we're like going through and leveling up and talking about what we're doing with our builds, we could be like, "Oh, dude, that's cool. Well, look what I can do."
Were you thinking about Stuart before?
I wasn't at the time, but
like immediately after you said it, you realized.
I started laughing because I was, look what I can do.
Wasn't that you that showed me like what
Yep.
like a Imgur? How do you pronounce that?
Imgur. It's an image hosting site called
Imgur.
Imgur.
I don't know why I said Imgur.
No, there are people. There's
like Stuart and Doreen at a.
Yeah, it was a couple's costume this year for Halloween.
Like that guy. Oh, it was just telling me
in Versailles. But yeah, like they committed real hard, especially dude playing Stuart. He was like on the floor, sticking his foot up in the air, like, you know, doing.
And in his underwear.
Yeah, in tidies.
That takes some
No!
humiliation.
Don't!
What the hell is this?
It's a rock. You just
I
hit
know
it.
there's just something that just kind of inevitably stands out about. Oh, just a bunch of floating black marks. Okay.
But yeah, had a lot of fun with Borderlands.
I think Lunar Winds was an all-hitting spell, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, bust that out.
I like fights where it's just a bunch of little monsters with like so little HP that you can take them all out in one decent all-hitting spell.
Here's hoping. Recently, though, since I finished all the previously mentioned games, there was a Halloween summer sale or Halloween sale. Very nice, by the way. There was a Halloween sale on Steam, and while like majority games on my wishlist were on sale, I wasn't really feeling anything at the time. But I did see one called Dusk for sale, and I had my eye on it because it looked like the first-person shooters of old, like super twitchy reaction stuff, like, you know, Wolfenstein, Quake, Doom, that kind of stuff.
Twitchy reaction.
Yeah, like stuff like Unreal Tournament, Quake, Doom, stuff where it's like shit's happening around you all the time, and it's just fast-paced. It's not slow-paced, where like modern shooters where you're like, all right, there's like 5 dudes over here behind cover. I'm going to sit here behind cover. I'm going to pop out, take a few shots, back up behind cover. No, it's like, you're in the open. They're in the open. You have a bunch of guns with a bunch of ammo. You can carry like 12 guns at the same time. Just fucking go, right?
Right.
That's
okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
right. It's all about bobbing and weaving and shooting. And Dusk is actually very good at it. Like, it emulates, I think out of the ones I mentioned, I think it's emulating Doom the closest, and I really like it. Its graphic style is like of the era, like it's designed to look old, and I think it works really well. I'm not very far in it. There's 3 campaigns. Each campaign has like 11 maps, and I'm almost done with the first campaign. So. I mean, like, if you grew up back in the day with those kind of shooters, yeah, it'll hit that nostalgia bone. It'll do it.
I did take a spin through the copy of Doom I had from Xbox 360.
Oh, which one? Doom 1?
Yeah. No, I think I went through the second one as well. Just I knew I couldn't do as well as I used to, where I could do like the next 2 hardest difficulty without ever gaming over.
Yeah.
The ultra violence mode. This time I had to tone it down to, you know, hurt me plenty, which is
Yeah.
like mid difficulty.
That's how the difficulties are named in Dusk as well, which is funny.
How did they go?
It was please don't hurt me. Something else. I can take it. I only looked at it for a split second, so it's hard to remember. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Remember a few days ago when I recommended an RPG to you called Indivisible? I played that game as well. And art style amazing, story is alright, gameplay is Valkyrie profile. That's it. If those things interest you, great game. It's from the people who made Skullgirls. So if you are a fan of that graphic style, Skullgirls was a fighting game.
Oh. I was like, waiting for you to explain here. While I just...
I
There's
actually
just so
played.
much
I
friggin'
played.
empty space in this world.
I played. I have Skullgirls. I played a lot of that. I mained Pinwheel, and I had a lot of fun.
Moons, give me strength.
Well, I finished up a game of Dot Hack I had going about 8 years ago. Finally just... I quit like at the beginning of Outbreak because it was some dungeon you have to do towards the beginning of Outbreak that you have to do by yourself. And the level is actually like a little bit above, the level of the dungeon is actually a little bit above what you would normally be at that point.
Right?
So it's like kind of giving you the double burn there, you know? Had to do it by yourself, kite only, without party members to help, so whoever gets KO'd, it's you. Immediate game over, because you're the only one in the party. And it's a little bit over your level anyway. But it was a storyline dungeon you had to do, so I think I'm like... Rage quit without raging.
Right. Yeah, well,
No, like, I didn't,
just be like,
I
you
didn't
know
like
what?
outwardly
I'm done.
get pissed, but I just, you know, it caused me to quit.
Yeah. All right. So, I've got a guide here on my phone just to see where we are.
Okay, well, please tell me where the hell we go. This should be pretty much right after the Vigoro battle in Yafatoma.
You mean the Draco fight? Or
Or,
Blueheim?
yeah, that's right. We fight the blue golem after Vigoro, so yeah, it's after Blueheim.
So there is an optional boss called Pistol, or Piostel. I think it's supposed to be Pistol.
Oh yeah, I think that's the girl I was talking about that you can fire like 4 friggin'
Yeah.
times, and she's actually kind of hard each time.
But if you apparently we're going back to Crescent Island.
That's where we're going?
Yeah, according to the guide, it mentions after. This is the section called After Yafutoma, and
Okay, was Blueheim the very last thing in the Yafatoma section? Can you see?
yeah. So the ship battle, Blueheim. The item you get is a Captain Stripe. Returning to the Delphinus, where you should choose. Let us to try east. Now that your business at Yafatoma is completed, much exploring can be done. When you're ready, continue the story. Check your map. Near the W part, I guess that means west part, of Ixataka, there should now be a gap into the Silverstone Reef.
Oh, okay, I
Through
actually have to
which
go
you
through
can
the gap
reach-
that the Empire created.
Yeah, which you can reach Crescent Island. So yes, we want to go to Crescent Island.
Okay, I was about to say, because I know you don't go back through the Dark Rift. I know you don't.
Have you just been flying around and grinding this entire time? I'm sorry, I've been lost in video
Yeah.
game talk.
That's exactly what I've been doing. I'm sure the audience was just loving it.
I'm sure
All 10 people that...
my top-notch game commentary is what's keeping them around. That's sarcasm, by the way. Don't want.
Oh, excuse me. The problem is, that means we're gonna have to fly all along that wall to actually find it.
Yeah. But at least we know now.
Moons, give me strength.
Oh yeah, so anyway, you remember me telling you about, since I started back up at the beginning of Outbreak?
Yep.
You know, if you start, you can just, like, start a new game on that, and
They'll kind of scale you up.
yeah,
Yeah.
instead of continuing from, previous games, so...
Yep.
So yeah, I finally beat Quarantine, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and just, dude, sure enough, to like almost right at the very end of that game, pretty much like before you do the final boss.
That was
It's
easy.
just that one dungeon that I don't think you have to go to it, but it's like I gotta do it, kind of like how you can't take your eyes off of a train wreck, you know?
Yeah.
That Blue Rose. I'm thinking about, because we're in Bluestone territory. or
Blue
something.
Rose. was also the name of the gun that Nero uses in the Devil May Cry series.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Blue Rose. And the sword he uses is called the Red Queen. And that is your useless facts for today.
This is a place I've not discovered before. Let's check it out.
Has it been too long and somebody already discovered it? Oh no, it's a... Hi! Your
But
nose is
anyway,
ridiculous.
Friggin' Pinocchio, dog.
Ryukon.
So it's a dungeon that both Black Rose and Terajima Ryoko invite you to,
Uh-huh.
without knowing not knowing the other.
Oh, I know where this is going.
I was like, I had a vague memory of something like this happening, and it was like the one time that Terajima Ryoko just actually pissed me off. Sure enough, like, they're cool at first, you know, you just happen to, you know, when they gate into the level with you, and it's like they just now notice each other. It was like,
You were right
You didn't know
there.
she were right in my, you know, you were in my party, like, back in Root Town, because, oh, I got a ship member.
Yeah, who's an artisan.
I have no idea what that does.
Yeah, right? What does an artisan do on a boat?
Well, let's equip him and see what's up. Anyway, you get into the level, and they're like,
What are you doing here?
and it just sounds like, oh, I didn't know you were coming along. Okay, cool. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, maybe if you walk in 3 or 4 more times,
Maybe I'll figure it out. Okay, now let's step away from that and go to... Where's
next page.
ship crew?
Yeah, change crew.
There we go.
Ryukon is he's
Okay,
active.
he
Yeah.
already, because I don't have any other artisan party members yet. Okay. Yeah, and then it's like at the beginning of every level in the dungeon, so this happens like 4 times. They just start for some reason getting on each other's nerves, and Kai just stands in the background like, what do I do? And I'm like, dude, seriously?
Log off. Like, it's
And
a game. Log
So
off.
they start arguing over, like, which way do we go, right or left? And it's like, either way, it gets you there in the exact same amount of, like, number of runes. There's not, like, a shortcut or anything.
Right.
Or certainly no way is completely wrong, like, you'll just head into a dead end and have to come back. No, left or right, the way the map went, it was, like, the exact same length. It didn't matter. Black Rose would always argue to go to the right. Ryoko would always argue to go to the freaking left. And then finally, when Kai's just like, what does it matter? At the last time they do this at like the 4th junction, right before you get to the god statue,
Mm-hmm.
they both get pissed at him for being indecisive and leave.
Yeah, fuck them both.
So you have to, like, just proceed the rest of the way by yourself. Thankfully, they didn't put you in any fights on that last floor. And depending on who you listen to more often, like whether to go left like Ryoko wants or right like Black Rose wants, you get a weapon for one of them.
Okay.
So I just chose left. I mean, I didn't think about it each time. But I'm just like, when I finally left the dungeon by myself because they friggin' abandoned me when they were the ones acting like children,
Yep.
you know, I just went, chicks, bro. As I was logging out, I mean, I know nobody was around to hear it. I just
Yeah, I know.
went, chicks, bro. And then sure enough, everything is like totally cool. you can invite them back into your party immediately,
And they'll have
and they
no
act like
problems, yeah.
yeah. And
Oh, hey, how are you?
they totally talk normally.
Chicks, bro.
So, I gave Terajima Ryoko, the weapon I got because I just chose it her way each time, deciding between left and right.
And she probably wasn't even super grateful about it, was she?
No, she was.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. It was like bipolar, She immediately returned to her usual sweet self. It's like that's the only part in the game where she acts the least bit bitchy.
Odd. Very odd.
Like Black Rose has always been,
She's always
kinda,
been she's been a very abrasive person.
just not like to the point where it seriously makes you hate her.
Right. It's just that her personality is a bit more rough.
But yeah, like immediately Terajima Ryoko, it's like she doesn't even remember that 5 minutes ago she got mad at me for no reason and ditched me along with Black Rose when they were the ones fighting. And then, I wanted to know a little bit more about the backstory on the dot hack characters that join your party at the end of the game. Because you can keep playing.
Yeah.
Doing optional stuff after the normal game. And for some reason, Helba, she just like, oh hey, you can have like the member addresses of these 3 characters from the actual animated series.
Yeah.
And just like, okay, how do they fit in here,
They don't.
Kite, I never met him before.
So I found weird about those characters is that before you get them, you have analogs of those characters in the Dot Hack games. Like each one of those characters has like an equivalent already in the game. And you're like, all right, well, apparently like they're not intending to use these characters because you have somebody who's like the Castry person, and then you get what is his name? Elk is one of the.
No, Elk was the one in the normal game with you that was obsessed with Mia, the cat woman.
Right. So you have Elk.
What you get from the series, the animated series, was Tsukasa. And you want to talk about an asshole character. Dude, I will never complain about Gardenia again. This is no joke.
What?
You know what Tsukasa says every time, and again, this is a total surprise to me. He's probably this way in the animated series, but I barely saw an episode of that. That was like way back in the day when it was on Adult Swim, so I wouldn't remember anyway,
Yeah.
But he's like, what do you want? When you talk to him, you give him something, and he goes, I don't want it. Of course, he takes it anyway. It's like, okay, why are you like this? What is the purpose? I mean, obviously there's some backstory from the anime.
Yeah.
The reason why he's such a
I think he
douche.
might have been like the Tsundere character. Like, he actually likes you, but he doesn't know how to express it, so it comes off as being an asshole.
And it is going to be a rare time that I ever have sympathy for that kind of character. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know how you don't know how to just be decent to somebody,
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Unless you're just completely mentally retarded. I don't know.
The main character in the anime was actually not Kite. It was it was
Tsukasa, right?
Yeah, it was the caster that's much like Elk. And there's also a character that's much like Orca, I believe, as well. I can't remember what his name was.
Bear.
Like Bear. Yeah, it was Bear.
I just see him around town. He never actually joined my party. Like the three from the series that join your party are Tsukasa, Subaru,
And
who for some reason,
and a Black Rose analog, yeah.
Yeah. No, Mimaru. She was also, you just see her around town. It was Tsukasa, Subaru, and a twin blade named Sora, who just talks weird.
Huh.
But anyway, so after getting them in my party, I just looked up like the Dot Hack Wikia just to see what's the story on their characters, because again, I'm barely familiar with the anime itself. So, and during that time, it's one of those things where I'm just looking for one thing, and then suddenly I just can't get away from the website. I just got to look up all pieces of information. So I find, the article on Terajima Ryoko, and at least the way the writer interpreted it was, because she is so sheltered, she's like,
well, this is annoying.
yeah.
How are we supposed to find the opening if we can't even, like, hug the fucking wall?
Yeah, I gotta go down. It's going to be somewhere here. In fact, that's probably right there where
You mean it's on the map? The gap is on the map.
Hey, you know what? I ain't gonna complain. If that's actually telling me where it is. Well, it's got. We knew it had to lead right into Ixataka, so
yeah,
of course I was
we
gonna have
just
to go
had
down
the
to
assumption that we could pierce the wall, which is not the case yet.
I could have sworn that one of the last things to happen in the last video, again, that was a month and a half ago or so, but still,
Yeah.
was that
We got equipped with a...
with a way to pierce the wall, just like the Laza had, or Vigoro had, or whoever came here in their dumbass Empire ship, whatever. I'm just bitter now.
Yeah, I know. I felt you getting more
So
aggressive.
the way the writer apparently was interpreting it, because it's not like it outright told you in the game or anything, was that Terajima Ryoko is like, her real life self. She kind of goes to like an all-girls school, and I remember her mentioning that at some point in like the little emails you can share back and forth with the other party members, to get to know the real life person behind that character in the game.
Really cool aspect of that.
Yeah, it was. Although you talk about it just a lot of stuff
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
but I do like the fact that it's there. So she doesn't. You're actually her first like male friend. I mean, I'm assuming this isn't even like like a romantic thing. It's just she immediately gets because of that, because she's kind of like a sheltered, kind of high class girl from from like upper class family, and her dad kind of seems like he might possibly be something like the dad from It,
Oh, no, you mean Beverly's dad?
Okay, maybe not that bad.
I was about to... No, well, I mean, do you mean the book or the movie?
Maybe the movie.
Okay.
Without the abusiveness. But just kind of seemed like very, very overprotective. I think that's all I was getting at.
Okay.
So
that's not Beverly's dad at all.
That's an unfair
yeah.
Comparison. But, because of that, it's like as her first male friend, she just kind of gets subconsciously territorial. So seeing that Black Rose, also invited you along, she immediately interprets it as like
defensive,
trying to take Kite away from her, so, in some way. And Black Rose just being Black Rose, well, of course she was,
Yep.
tensions were gonna escalate. It's ridiculous, but I mean, I was dreading that part, dude. Just at the end,
Moons,
chicks, bro. Again, I mean, I'm alone by myself in my apartment with playing out. I know nobody's around to hear it.
So,
but I say
aside
it.
from Dot Hack, have you been playing anything else on the side?
I did just take a quick spin through, because up until I
Yes.
just decided to take a spin through Doom, the copy of Doom 1 and 2 that came out in Xbox Arcade.
Yep.
That was the first time I'd ever turned on like my actual console since I moved into this current apartment. So I maybe been in it for a good 9-10 months before I finally used my TV and console for something.
I mean,
And ever since then,
PC is just...
ever since then I've used it quite a bit more, and I would just take a quick spins through games for old time's sake, that I know I hadn't done in a few years, that are generally quick to do, and a few RPGs. So I did like a spin through Fatal Frame 1 and 2 in the last month or so.
Good games.
Yeah. I still suck at them pretty much, but I love them anyway.
If you're having fun, doesn't matter.
I never got to be what you would call a veteran in those games like I did most Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I'd say overall, I think as a series, I like Fatal Frame more. If like I took the average of the you know score, like 10 scale scores that I did for each game, if I took the average of that for each Fatal Frame game and compared it to the average score because of a few absolute clunkers, like,
well, yeah.
then in that sense, I do like Fatal Frame more.
Well, I mean, Fatal Frame doesn't have a bad title in its series.
Well, I never played 4 and 5. And you know what, dude? Every now and then I seriously think I should go out and get a Wii just so I can play 4. I don't know what 5. I don't know what 5's on.
Dolphin plays Wii games. You can download an ISO.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was just GameCube. I'm sorry.
Nope. Dolphin does both. You can even set up the waggle stick if you have an IR sensor on your computer. You can set up the waggle controls for a Wii on that. I don't have one, but
cool. And wait. What happened to the gap? It looked like there was an actual gap there, like
you
PC hauntings.
Wow.
I actually went past it.
I really hope in the description of this video you
just a lot of flying
disclose
around.
And be like, hey, this episode is the just talking about games we're playing episode where we make 0 progress.
I do that.
That wasn't a judgment. That was just
Okay, let's keep an eye on the right side here.
Wait,
there it is. There it is.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's just a distinct.
Of course, at the same time, can I scale over this high cliff?
Pull up your map. Where is this gap? Oh, nope. It wasn't where that gap was in the map.
That gap looked like it was right here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Crescent Island. We go.
Well, now we can say we've been around the world or something.
Very prolific of you.
Of course, Crescent Island is like still way on the other side. It's just, yeah, it's like all the way over friggin' here, but it's the only way to get to it. We couldn't go across the Dark Rift.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to. It's still gonna be a ways before we actually get there. Might be a good idea to kill the episode once we get to before we go inside of Crescent Island. So.
The compass is spinning. I'm close to something.
Find it. It's gone. You lost it.
Was it a moving?
I don't know.
A moving discovery? Oh well. What's this over here? Oh yeah, hell no. For some reason, that alarm actually just creeps me out.
Oh, hey, is that?
Oh, I discovered that already. The little twister. Oh, that's the chef dude that was on the wanted list, and I defeated him. So it's like he turns good and just opens up an honest restaurant business.
Nothing a good ass.
It's like, hey, Vice, I remember you. You kicked my ass in battle once. Well, this is what I'm doing now.
I love the severed pig heads in the background.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
like
kind of horror movie worthy right there.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, that's pretty fucking macabre.
Yeah,
they're even bloody. Like,
wow,
they're not even.
Do any of you guys see this?
I mean, like, there's meat hanging up all over the place, but there's something about the head.
Okay, she just offered me some kind of food for $4,000. Does that just restore HP? I guess.
That you kicked his ass and he got you back by stealing $4,000.
Well, I gotta say, it was pretty good revenge. And Cupils made a sound.
Is that a pig head but roasted?
Well, it's here somewhere, and this dude's in my way. So while I'm trying to find it...
Well, this is... Is it the tongue or the exclamation mark? Oh, it's both. No. Well, that was oddly...
It really didn't have to be that hard. And it's so blue, it's almost as if they melted a moonstone. Or Moonstone's the only thing that's blue on this planet. Oh, hey! I
Dominic,
think this dude can
Domingo.
join my party too. Does he? I don't remember. Does he actually make it easier to make discoveries somehow?
Well, if you can find at least 30 discoveries, he'll join. Okay.
yeah, and how many have you discovered, buddy? How many have you done?
I like how you're getting upset at the NPC.
Well, what the heck? He's kind of asking a lot. I'm just saying, don't ask me to do something that you wouldn't do.
You wouldn't steal a car.
What's this over here? Oh, I already did that. Okay, good lord.
Can we not penetrate that wall?
Oh, the normal
Yeah.
windfall thingies. I keep thinking that it was waterfalls, even though I know that can't be water. Yeah, we can go
There
past
is no
it.
water in this game. Not really. No, as long as we keep going east.
Sure is friggin' dark.
And it's sinking into oblivion.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, it's just kind of bobbing. Okay, there must be like Valuan guard ships around somewhere.
You would think that all those Valuan cannons would just immediately just go. You're like, uh-oh! Oh,
What's this? Yeah, I was like, this itty bitty little island right here could not possibly be there, you know, for no reason. There's
the
gotta be
guide
something.
stones.
Okay, land of the red moon. We're getting
Alright, we
there.
can, yeah, just a little bit to the left and we should be good. Just this one little, like...
God, this
wall of
white
land.
map is so friggin' awesome. Do you know we probably would have had at least 4 times as many battles all this time?
Yeah, but here's the thing, you're also denying yourself experience. So, in a way, it's making the game harder.
Have I even game overed yet? This whole entire playthrough?
I do not think so, but that doesn't mean it won't eventually catch up with me.
Anyway, so Lantis gave me, you know, the chin up in the air while looking down at you face, you know, with one eye. Like one wide friggin' eye like the telltale fucking heart. You know?
While also pointing. Where you going? Don't you
Oh
wanna,
yeah, that's more east than...
yeah,
I mean, west than
You want
east.
to go through this weird little...
I don't know what it was about this little circular waterfall right here,
Crescent Island should be in this airspace.
but it fascinates me.
There we go. Cool.
Speaking of that, that just made me remember, there was like one time when, at band camp, I think it was when Ms. Dick, and that was her real name, people, I'm not making a joke, even though we didn't like her. She actually took us to, like, see some local play where they were doing, like, 5, it was like, it, like, consisted of 5 short plays. I don't know what the literary term for this would be. But, like, one of them was The Telltale Heart. In fact, I think that was the very first one. And then we saw, like, another interpretation of Legend of Sleepy Hollow, then The Monkey's Paw,
yeah.
and then 2 others after that that weren't really scary. They were just kind of just stupid little stories. Something about a jumping frog, and stolen jewels.
Cool.
Guys, as soon as you saw Ixataka, you should have understood that the world is in fact round. Like, you know you've sailed to Ixataka going west before, so when you find it going east, just never mind. I want to see more.
I want more. Little Mermaid.
Oh. I thought that was from High School Musical, actually.
No, that was supposed to be a Little Mermaid reference.
Oh, hey, those guys have been hard at work. did all this with $75,000.
The flag. I mean, that's cool and all. I'm more curious about where he got those resources.
I guess they called something to be imported in from Nasir. Nasrad. I think Nasir is like the name of the region. Nasrad is the name of the actual capital city. You can see it from here. We just saw it. Well, let's reel her in, folks.
Heck yeah! This is our dope-ass base. Those two stole a lot of money for us.
The guy with the nail in his mouth. That's very unsafe, by the way. For some reason, this guy reminds me of like just about any dwarf character I've read in a
Yep.
Dragonlance book. That guy just got a creepy face.
It's his mouth that's weird. Like, I don't know what it is, but his mouth just seems very odd.
It's like perfectly rectangular, like a very slender rectangle.
Also, the fact his irises are black. Like, his iris is black and his pupil is white. That seems really weird. What the hell is it?
Shiver me timbers. Oh, that's what we got. The plans to be able to. Yeah,
there we
that's
go.
what it
and
was.
he's gonna build us the ability to pierce the wall. Oh,
And dude, since you said it, after I get through Dino Crisis, I'm
Yeah.
doing some Fatal Frame 4.
heck yeah. Well, here's the thing.
It's been over a decade since I played a new Fatal Frame game.
Here's the thing. If it requires the motion controls, we won't be able to do it because I don't have a way to set up an IR scanner for the controller to work. And you got to remember the Wii was super waggle based. So,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. I have a Wii. If you want to
So at worst, all I'd have to do is just buy the
a copy, which at worst is going to be like $10. I'll now set up my physical console and we can still do it.
Okay. I heard a moonfish temporarily. Ah, here
Yoink.
it is. Let's get out of first.
You know
person.
what? Those two dudes did not think it was important to put, hand railing above the yawning abyss.
Yeah. I guess budget ran out by that time. That was like one of the last things they were planning on doing. Oh hey, it's isn't that from Claire? Yeah. Yeah, this is like the weird Lolita girl with just the humongous bouncing chest.
I don't think I noticed that.
And somehow she sneaked aboard the Delphinus at some point after the last time we came across Clara. Well, I can't say I mind now. You went through the trouble of stowing away and coming all this way with me.
I also like how her idle animation is like, I'm going to make sure that my chest shakes as much as possible.
Well, let's not put you in charge of the ship cannons then. Let's find something else for you to do. You know, in all honesty, I do think we should, that is a custom, we should borrow from Japan. People should start showing more politeness around here in this country and bow.
Yeah?
If the person you talk to is an asshole, though, you don't have to do it. But other than that, Well, Belle's part of our crew. Let's make sure she's keep confusing.
Denzel Washington.
I keep calling it a triangle and square. Yes, I
You
know.
can call it whatever you want, bro. Here's the problem, though. If you say X, I have no idea which face button you mean, because across all consoles,
yeah, they're
X is literally in a different spot. Like, X
okay.
is the left face button on Sony consoles. It's the bottom face button on Sony consoles. Nintendo, it's the top face button. And actually, I think it's GameCube that puts it on the right face button. So,
okay, screw you too, Lawrence. You know, I think we got our $75,000 worth.
yeah, actually, this is pretty nice.
I could see this costing millions easily.
Well, you gotta understand, this is like bucks. Like, this is. I think this is like not our time, so.
I know.
I believe the value of $1 in this universe goes a little bit farther than modern day USD.
Oh, a chimichanga. Chim cham.
Boom!
Chimichanga.
Game over.
Well, no matter the size of the cannon, don't stick your face in it, you know?
Gun safety, bro. I don't think it's in here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about gun safety at first. I was like, that's definitely not a thing in this country anymore.
Chimchamaroo. Oh, I bet I know where it is. Go back down. And just keep circling around the building. It's gonna be under the stairs.
Oh. Oh. We just had a picture of Dad's pirate isle. Speaking of which, let's feed him some of them chams. I don't understand why that cracked me up so hard, but I had a hard time drawing breath. Oh god, dude, the other day
Oh yeah?
at work, Anthony did like this just sudden like impression of Greg. Nobody was expecting it, so it caught me totally off guard, and I about had a heart attack. And they're just sitting, they're just all around the table, just watching me all the time. Like, dude, are you okay?
Like, yeah, I'm gonna
And I can't answer because I'm like
in tears. Okay, so where are we going?
I think we're going after the Purple Moonstone next, which is in No Man's Land. Well, in comparison to all the other places we've been, except for maybe the Dark Rift.
There are points in the game at which you can pay your shop owner to upgrade the stock. Osmond will take 2,000 gold donation right now.
Hey, Marco, I forgot about you, buddy.
Apparently, just coming out here and then going back is enough time for those two dudes to upgrade the ship, so we can just leave now.
Oh, okay.
I think. I mean, still explore, do what you need to, but... Oh shit! Are we at this point already? Can we battle Vise the Legend?
Not sure, because don't we have to defeat, like, 2 more people before him? Like, the last person on the wanted list I tackled was,
This
Gordo.
guide is assuming that you've done everything prior. Yeah. Okay. But hey, at this point, you can fight, Bides the legend.
Well, if I'm gonna fight him eventually, I need to find Loose Cannon Lapan first. That's the next person on our
Do you want me to look
wanted
that up?
list, if you would please.
Lapan, you say?
Moligi finds this pond very fascinating.
Good gracious, where is this dude? Loose Cannon Lapan. There's a blonde-haired guy dressed in purple just outside the weapons store. Where?
I thought it was at Sailor's
Oh,
Island.
yeah, yep, it's at Sailor's Island.
Then I'm missing something before that somehow. Because that's where I thought he was last time and we couldn't find him.
Maybe enough time has elapsed or whatever. I'll scroll up until I see Wanted Battle again and see if...
Okay. But in any event, it's time to go eat.
It is!
So,
We're gonna have lasagna!
yeah, see, because Rachel was in the kitchen where she needs to be.
Right?
Chicks, bro.
Chicks. If anything you got out of this video, it's chicks, bro.
Yep. Alright, see y'all later.
That